Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I am all done and ready. How good does the hair look? This is a get to know me video. I thought up a bunch of questions that I would want to know about me. I did not put up like a little question box or anything like that because I don't think I'm like cool enough to do that yet. Because this is obviously my channel. This is obviously Chlomommy. I share all things mum life, my life, all that good stuff, but I've never sat down and kind of just like let you in on who I am and, you know, certain things about myself. I kind of let you guys know things along the way as I'm just like journeying with you, but I thought I would do a fun little sit down, get ready with me and get to know me, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So let's just jump straight in to the video. Can you tell my hair is like too much in my face? Like, get away. Bye! Okay, so my hair, I don't even know how long it's been in these curlers, but I have a feeling it's too long. I have my mirror just here so that I can see what I'm doing, because this is a very small little doodad just here. I'm just going to start out with some sunscreen and my debronzy. I don't wear any foundation. I honestly just conceal. I always wear sunscreen. Let's start right there. I always wear sunscreen, and if you don't, you're just asking to age. Sorry, I don't care if you don't burn, you're aging, so it's nothing to be proud of. I just go like that, mix it together, and basically this just gives me some colour in my face and neck. And helps me to not only be like protected from the sun, but have a really nice bronzy glow. And I've really learnt since becoming a mum how to love my skin, and maybe that's because like when I got pregnant my actual hormones changed heaps and now my skin complexion is a lot more even, and I barely break out anymore. Anyway, that's not even a part of like what I've written down, that's just some random info. But can you see how like glowy and put together I am now? If I look in the over here, again it's because the mirror's there. So I'm just going in with my MAC, what is it called, Studio Pro Conceal and Correct palette. Anyway, first thing, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe, also known as Chlomommy. I'm 27 years old. I have a almost 2-year-old son, and I am married, coming up 3 years. So yes, we got married, and then like 2 months in we got pregnant. I just wanted to go off the pill basically, and I said we're married now, so like what's the worst that could happen? I'll get pregnant. And then I got pregnant and it was the best thing that ever happened. My son's name is Wolf and my husband's name is Jesse. Jesse is my childhood sweetheart. We grew up knowing each other because he's best friends with my cousin, and then I'm best friends with my cousin, and every single year we would come up here and we would go camping every summer at the same place. Once we got to that age where we were like attracted to the opposite sex, we were attracted to each other, you know? So what's that, like 15, 14? I mean maybe younger, but that's the year that we started to like properly start flirting. So we would spend like 3 weeks camping and we'd flirt the whole time, and then I'd go home to Christchurch and he would stay up here in Auckland, and that was that. And we would, you know, back then texting like cost heaps, and you couldn't text from Vodafone to Telecom, and everyone in Christchurch was Telecom and everyone up north was Vodafone, so like we could never text, and I don't even think Facebook was a thing at all then. It was like Bebo, and anyway, so communication was scarce. I think we properly started dating when I was like 17 and he was 18. So yeah, we had like 3 or 4 summers kind of ramping up to a proper dating. But because I grew up in Christchurch and he was up here, it was a long distance relationship. And when you're young and you're dumb and you're insecure and everything's like intense and dramatic and toxic, that's exactly what we were. We were dramatic and toxic, and we were not a good match at that phase of our life. Like Jesse was the kind of guy in high school who was like a charmer, you know, like he was like flirting with all the girls and playing off like, oh, that's just how I talk, you know. And I was like really insecure, and I was probably doing the exact same thing with the guys down here. Like, let's be real, high school's a crazy time in your life, isn't it, when you're so young. I'm pretty sure he moved down to Christchurch after like a year of long distance. So we would go like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and one of us would like fly up or one of us would fly down. So he moved down. He started working in a store down in Christchurch, just retail, and I was finishing up high school and figuring out what I wanted to study, la la la. We were just young. Here I have the Hourglass Illusion Tint palette. I love it. It's just cream, blush, bronzer, and highlight. I pretty much only use the bronzer, as you can tell, and then I use a Mecca Max stick cream blush. Yeah, after I think maybe 6 months, Jesse and I broke up. I broke up with him. I basically went off the rails emotionally. My dad got cancer, and that really threw me. I had no idea how to like process that, because it wasn't cancer where he was dying, but it was still cancer, so you don't know. And I just really struggled to cope with that, and we were still very young, and I think we were quite codependent on each other, and I really struggled then to deal with the codependency, because I wanted someone to look after me, because I didn't know how to look after me anymore, if that makes sense. And when you're young and you just think, oh, let's just pull the pin, like, you're not good, you're not it for me anymore. So I broke up with him. 2 weeks later, regretted it. He didn't want to get back together. He was like, I'm finally living my best life, you know. And then I think we spent probably 1.5 years in a very toxic merry-go-round with each other, where we were still kind of together but kind of secret, and then it wouldn't be secret, and then we'd pull the pin and everyone was like, oh my gosh, get a grip, you two, like, let each other go. And eventually that's precisely what happened. I remember guys, one time I texted Jesse. I can't even remember what I said now. If I thought about it for long enough I could, but who needs that drama. But I can't remember what I said, and then he literally never texts me back ever again until like 2 years later. But he literally just ghosted me and left my life, guys. He left my life. I was devastated. You remember how I told you that my cousin was his best friend and also my best friend? I even was like, Mitch, can you please get Jesse to like call me or text me back or something? Like, he literally has just not talked to me for weeks. Like, I don't know what's happening. And it was very awkward, because obviously I was getting like my family involved, and Mitchell was like, no, like, this is a very uncomfortable position. He like will contact you if he wants to, kind of thing. And then he literally never did. I can't with that. I still cannot with that. Like, that's so rude. Anyway, moving on. And then, you know, fast forward 2 years, you do a lot of living in that time. We didn't see each other those summers, basically, that we were apart, until he came and he brought his new girlfriend to our spot, to Whananaki. Never you mind, I did the same with my boyfriend the year before. But like, Jesse wasn't there, so I wasn't flaunting it in his face. I didn't know he wasn't going to be there, but like, still, anyway, you know. So we saw each other. This wasn't meant to be a big story time about this, but this is such a good story, so I'm just gonna give you all the goss. Jesse wouldn't even look me in the eyes, guys. No joke. I would try to talk to him and he'd look like this. And you and I, this is us. This is me and Jesse talking, and I'm looking at his eyes and he's like this. Yeah, I've been really good, eh? Yeah, sounds good. Like, would not look me in the eyes. Anyway, it was obviously uncomfortable for him. It was obviously uncomfortable for his new girlfriend, for all of our families, for me. It was horrid. And I just remember, guys, I remember the day he left with his girlfriend. They drove away and they left to go do whatever they were going to do for the rest of the summer. I walked to the toilet and I looked at myself in the mirror and I started to cry. And I was like, why am I crying? It had been 3 years by this point. I was like, why am I crying? And I just thought to myself, if there was ever a chance that I could, I would want another chance with him. So I feel like it's been long enough that I can say these things. I texted him and I said that to him. I texted him and I said, hey, I know this is wildly inappropriate and not at all right, and I don't expect you to reply whatsoever. I literally want you to be happy. And I did mean that. I really did mean that. My life had changed so much, and like, you know, 3 years had passed. Like, by no means was I still caught up on him, but the idea of being around him was still so attractive to me. I still thought he was so funny. I still thought he was such a nice guy. And that to me meant that, you know, I really liked who he was, and so therefore I would have wanted to give it another go. So that's what I said to him. So anyway, long story short, a few things happened, like his nana passed away and I went to the funeral because he texted me and invited me. Guys, it had been like 3 years since the guy had texted me and he still had like the heartbeat. You know, on iPhones you can make it so that it's like a specific vibrate for a specific person. His is the heartbeat vibrate, and it literally always has been. And I felt that in my pocket when I was at work one day. my stomach nearly came out my butt. I was so freaked out. And he invited me to his nana's funeral, so. And then I think we slowly built things back up over like 6 months. Just real chill, because he still lived in Christchurch, mind you. So we got back together, and then 9 months later we were engaged, and then 9 months after that we were married, and then 2 months after that we were pregnant, and now it's nearly been 3 years of marriage, and life's good. How funny is that story? Okay, moving on from that juicy story. Comment down below if you were along for the journey of that entire 3 or 4 years of our life. Because go you guys, if you're still here, you're a real one to put up with all that crap we put everyone through and put each other through. I can't decide what eye look to go for. Okay, so next is we currently live with my parents. So they just moved home to Auckland from Christchurch because they've retired. And they own this house and it's huge. And so we are living with them whilst we save our own deposit for our own place. So we kind of foresee we'll be here for a while, but you never know, like, life. I grew up in a Christian family, so my parents are pastors. They have been pastors literally my entire life. That's why they moved to Christchurch, because they felt called to a church down there, which is the church I grew up in. And I want to just say 3 things that I literally love about growing up in a Christian family. And the first one is that I always have a hope in my spirit. Like, no matter how dark things seem, no matter how down I am or how dark I feel, I always know that it will get better, and I never feel like trapped in the dark, if that makes any sense. I just see a lot of hopelessness in people, and I am so grateful that I don't have that, and I definitely owe that to the fact that I have a faith, and I know where I'm going, and I know where I've been, and I know that I'm loved, you know? And next would be I love that all of my best friends are from church, and we have such strong relationships for life. Like, we've been doing life with each other forever, and we will continue to, and it's just, yeah, it's such a beautiful thing, and that's what I want to give Wolfie. And then the last one is that I love that I know my life has purpose, and that my purpose develops and grows as I go through life and I grow, and I just know that there is meaning to life. I've gotten really into my fitness in the last 4 months, and since joining F45, and gosh, like, when I say it's changed my life, like, I really genuinely mean it. And like, it's cringy because it's literally like their tagline, like, life changing, but it's true. It's true. It changed my life, and it changed Jesse's life, and it changed our relationship, like, with our bodies, with each other, like doing something together. Oh my gosh, having a hobby together, like, that's insane. Gosh, group fitness is just the best. Like, I literally crave going to the gym now. I literally look forward to it. I love it. I come out of it like loving it. I love the whole session. I love everything about it. I'm that person that at a social setting, if somebody else does F45, I'll stand there with them and we'll talk about how much we love it. Oh gosh, guys, I don't know what it is, but I've drunk the Kool-Aid, and there's no going back for me. It changed my mental health, it changed my outlook on things, it makes me a better wife, it makes me a better mum, it makes me a better friend, just everything. Okay, so I started my channel as a place for like new mums to come and have insight into postpartum, mum life, like early on mum life, and how incredibly not glamorous it all is. I wanted it to be a really real, safe place, and I really am proud of myself because I do think I achieved that. When I go back and I watch it, I think, golly gosh, hectic, how did you upload these vlogs? But now it's developed so much more into like a personal diary entry, and I share so much of my life with you guys, and it's really just been the most amazing thing. It started out as a means to help others, and not only help them but kind of give myself an outlet, because new mum life is so all-consuming and I just wanted to feel like me. So it was that, and now it's just like I love sharing whatever it is that I'm going through, because I'm really aware that like all the little moments of what we go through as individuals have power if we let them to affect others in a really positive way. And by no means do you have to have the ending figured out, I think is what I really realized, but doing the journey with people is so much more important. Like, life is about sharing the journey together, and I feel like that's kind of what my whole channel has evolved into, and I really love it. And it's been such an interesting journey because I don't know anyone else who does a channel. I have one girlfriend, sorry, who does, and she's the one who inspired me to start it. Listen to me, I'll put her up here. She's got a little newborn, and but apart from that, like, it's not like I have a whole swag of friends and we're all doing the same thing and we're going after these online goals. So it's been so interesting kind of like creating my own path and backing myself with it, because there's a lot of self-doubt and there's a lot of like criticism for putting yourself out online, and you can just really think that everyone that you know is like secretly judging you. And I have just like worked so hard at just figuring out how to just be me, and that rolls me into my last point before we finish up, which is crazy because I really need to do more of my makeup. One sec, let me do my brows and then I'll come back. Okay, so I use the Sky High Maybelline mascara, and I use a Kevin Aucoin lash curler. And you must always curl your lashes, ladies. It will make the world of difference. And never be afraid of many coats of mascara. Ooh. So my last thing is, my goal in life is to empower people to feel like they can be themselves. And like simply by just being free and being myself. I think you give people permission to be themselves when you are yourself, you know, because people see how beautiful it is and how natural it can be, and that's what they want to aspire to. And by no means am I perfect at that at all, but life's like a journey, like I have been saying, and I just want that to be like my legacy, I suppose, in life, is that I always helped others to feel confident to just like be them, whatever that like looked like or whatever that meant for them. Damn, it did the same thing over here. Okay, so that's a good thing to know. Obviously this is like quite a heavy bit of my head, and I need to make sure those bits are smaller. Note to you, Chloe. Okay guys, well, I will let you know in the weekly vlog how well this holds, okay? Because if you guys know, then you know that I'm trying to get it to actually keep the volume. But this seems stunning, does it not? I hope you guys loved this get to know me. I hope that you learned something new, or that you were able to reminisce on something funny. But I really enjoyed filming that for you guys. Wow guys, I'm vibing this hair. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and liking my video. And I'll see you guys really soon in my next one. Bye!